Hey guys, today I'm moving Nashville. We're going to talk about all the things that you need to know before you move to Spring Hill, Tennessee, and that starts right now. All right, guys, so let's get into it. So Spring Hill, Tennessee sits about 40 minutes south of downtown Nashville, right off of I-65. It's just in between. Franklin is north of it, and then you've got Columbia to the south of it. Some of the major ways to get in there would be Saturn Parkway. You can take 65 to Saturn Parkway. Saturn Parkway drops you off on Kedron, Port Royal. And then you could go to 31, which is Main Street, that takes you right through downtown. Or you can come through 840, which will bring you to 31, and then that brings you south into town. I'm actually not originally from here. I'm from Michigan. I moved down here in 2009, actually April this month. It's been 16 years now, which is crazy to me. It flies by. But first town that I lived in actually was Spring Hill. And so I fell in love with it right away. One of the things that for me that was a draw to it was just so peaceful. You know, I came from Detroit and it was a little more hectic up there. One of the things I noticed right away, so I'm a Christian, I will tell you that right off the bat. When I moved down here, up there where I was from, it was like there was a bar on every corner. I moved down here, there's a church on every corner. So it was just a different pace of life. Everybody was just super nice. At the time when I moved down here, I didn't have any kids. I wasn't married, I was single. And that's one thing that I did notice, is that it was a very family-oriented town. I moved down here and was living with my sister and my brother-in-law at the time and their kids. And so I got with my brother-in-law and we were coaching baseball together. So I was involved in Little League and just a bunch of different things within the town, and just absolutely loved it. I mean, the vibe of the town to me, from where I came from, it was so different, but it's what I was looking for. It was peaceful, and it was the perfect place for me to start all over and get my life to where I wanted it to be. And I just absolutely love Spring Hill. So it was established in 1808. It's split between, like I said, between Williamson and Murray counties. And that's another thing too, so that I learned down here. So they're gonna call it Murray County. To me, I look at it, it's spelled like Maury, right? Like Maury Povich on TV. And my wife gives me crap about it all the time because I think it's Maury, but they call it Murray. So I just wanted to clarify that first. So it's split between Williamson County at the top and then Murray County at the bottom. And right now the population as of 2024, just from the research that I've done, is it's roughly about 60,000 residents, which has grown significantly. When I moved to Tennessee 16 years ago, it was not even close to that. It was such a small town. It has changed so much. One of the main things that I see that's changed is the traffic, especially with just going up 31. Like, it is bumper to bumper traffic. And I'll get into that because I'm going to get into commute time. So I'll go down that rabbit hole now a little bit. I don't really want to. So I'm going to kind of back up a little bit. So some of the biggest industries in Spring Hill are going to be the GM plant, of course. And so for me, being from Michigan, it's crazy because when I first moved down here, everybody thought I moved down here because of GM, and I actually didn't. I moved down here because my dad, his best friend, grew up in Hendersonville, and we came down here like our whole entire life. And so when they retired and came down here, I just kind of followed them, looking for a better life. So you have the GM plant, and then Altum sells battery plant. They just built that. It's giant. They have a ton of jobs right now, openings for that plant. So those aren't the only ones, but those are two major opportunities for job and for employment in Spring Hill right now. And then it's one of the things, like I said earlier, is it's well known for like just its family vibe, and it has great churches. The schools, I'll get into that a little bit. Some of those are sought after. And then the cost of living. So I went and did some research, and according to salary.com, it says that Spring Hill's cost of living is 2.5% higher than the national average. So that's another thing, is not only has it grown, but also the cost to live there has significantly gone up. So another thing that's really good about Spring Hill, especially if you're the outdoorsy type of person and family, is that there's great spots for outdoor recreation. So within Spring Hill's borders, you'll find Fisher Park, Evans Park, McLemore Park, and Harvey Park. And so they don't all have these amenities that I'm going to talk about, but amongst all of them, you're going to find these, right? So there's hiking trails, biking trails, an outdoor splash pad, basketball courts, pavilions with places to have picnics. And then if you're like an indoorsy type of person and you love movies, you've got AMC Classic 12 right there off of Saturn Parkway and 31. Can't miss it. And so, if you're not wanting to go outside, or if it's a rainy day and you want to go see a movie and take the family to see a movie, so, that opportunity is there too. All right, so what about real estate? I'm glad you asked. Now, so the average sale price for a single family home in Spring Hill as of March 2024 was $582,321. Over the past couple of years, the prices have increased. I want to say it was up like for the month of March 2024, it was up like 4% compared to last year at the same time. Most of the homes that you're going to find in Spring Hill, and not all of them, clearly you're going to find different types, but the majority of the real estate that you're going to find is going to be either all brick homes, or you're going to find homes that are going to be partial brick, like at the bottom, and then siding on the top. They've built a ton of townhomes, condos, other different types of structures too. But single family, there's quite a bit of those. I think this morning when I looked at for Spring Hill on the MLS, there was somewhere between like 260 to 300 homes available on the market. Don't quote me on that. It's not an exact figure, but it was somewhere in that range. But that's one thing that I do love about Spring Hill is I love brick homes, and especially if you're on the northern side and the Williamson side, there are some absolute gorgeous brick homes in neighborhoods after neighborhood after neighborhood of just these beautiful big brick homes. And so for me, that's another draw to Spring Hill. All right, so one of the biggest things and biggest questions that I always get to as a realtor is the school systems, right? So the way it's split is, just above, like, I want to say it's like right around like duplex. I want to say it's duplex is the road. It's somewhere right around in there is where it changes to Williamson County. So if you're at the top, you're going to be in the Williamson County School District. And so then from there, you're looking at your kids going to like Summit High School. And then if you go to the southern portion, then you're going to be in the Murray County side. And then the Murray County side, you're looking at Spring Hill High School. Because I'm a realtor, I have to be very careful about what I say about schools. I can't really get too in depth about it. I'm just being honest with you. This is how I feed my family. I'm not trying to get in trouble, lose my license. But so what I always recommend is, and I'll put something in the description for you, a link for you to click on to take you and kind of do some research on your own to see, you know, would you rather be in the Williamson County or would you rather be in the Murray County side? And you'll see the prices of the homes will vary depending on which side you're in, and there'll be different things along those lines. Now I will say this, I'll use this third party, I'll say this. So niche.com has the Spring Hill School District, and that's the Williamson and the Murray side combined. They combined it. They have it graded as a B. So niche.com has it as a B. But yeah, like I said, as far as that, because I'm an agent, I have to be very careful about what I talk about. So just make sure you do your homework and you know, do your own research and find your own facts, and then, you know, kind of go from there. All right, so if you're moving to Spring Hill and you're looking for employment, most people that live in Spring Hill don't necessarily work in Spring Hill. Most people that live, you know, Columbia or any of these other areas, they're going to work in Franklin or Brentwood or Nashville, some of those areas. I mean, even I know people that work out in Laverne and Smyrna. I mean, there's other areas, but for the majority of people, the best paying jobs you're going to find are going to be Franklin, Brentwood, Nashville. And so I think that's one of the reasons why Spring Hill is a draw, because you get that certain vibe that you're looking for, but then, you know, you're in close proximity to these other areas for work. You know, you're between 30 minutes to an hour, right? And so some of the major industries that are here in Nashville that are huge are healthcare is giant here, manufacturing is really big, and finance. There's a bunch of finance too here. Some of the companies that are actually really popular are going to be like HCA Healthcare, Access Control Systems, Hercules Holdings, which is healthcare, Bridgestone Tires. Everybody knows Bridgestone Tires, Bridgestone Arena. Dollar General, their headquarters is in Brentwood. Tractor Supply, I believe it's Brentwood too. Community Health Systems, and then Caterpillar, that makes the big machinery like Caterpillar. So Caterpillar Financial is here in town also. So there's quite a bit of industries here. There's a lot of really good paying jobs. The job market is actually really strong in Nashville. So that's a big draw here too. Talk about another thing that's a really huge to individuals that are moving here, questions that they ask me, and this is another one, just like the schools, that I've got to be very careful about what I talk about, right? So I'm not gonna really give my opinion on safety of Spring Hill. That's not my job. You'll have to do your own research. But what I will say is Spring Hill has, tight-knit communities, neighborhood watch programs, responsive police department. They've got a good police department. And then once again, I'm going to use niche.com as a third party, but niche.com rates Spring Hill as a B- rating. And so, that's kind of as much as I can really get into. I'll put a link for Niche where you can go there, but also I just recommend do your own homework, do your own research. And, statistically, there's a lot of facts out there that will, give you that information that you need. And so I just say, like I say about the schools, just go ahead and do your own research and you'll find what you're looking for. All right, this is one of my favorite topics. Food. I'm not gonna lie, you can look at me and tell I love some food. It's one of the things I love about Spring Hill too, is that, and just Nashville in general, there's so many different good places to eat here. And it's not just Southern food, it's every type of food you can think of, right? And so Spring Hill has a ton of chain restaurants. One of my favorites that I'm so happy that they actually just put in was Texas Roadhouse. Once they put Texas Roadhouse in, I was absolutely happy because I love Texas Roadhouse. But you've got Texas Roadhouse, Buffalo Wild Wings, Panda Express, Olive Garden, Chili's. I mean, there's just a list of them, you know, and then of course fast food. But then if you want to get outside of the chain restaurants, there's some family-owned restaurants there too, like Grecian Family Restaurant, and then Poncho's Mexican Restaurant, Great Wall Chinese, Nellie's Italian Cafe and Pizzeria. I absolutely love that. I think Nellie's is phenomenal. And then if you're looking for American, there's a diner. It used to be called something else, but they changed the name of it, and so it's called Better Days Diner. And I actually just went there and had a cheesesteak with a guy a couple of weeks ago. It was really good. I really liked it. Great milkshakes. Absolutely love milkshakes. A good place for that too. And then so Martin's Barbecue, I can't remember if that's just something here in the South, in this area here, if it's family owned or what it is, but I threw it in there too. If you like barbecue nachos, you got to go try their barbecue nachos. They're phenomenal. They're so different from anything I've ever had. They put coleslaw on the top of it. It's like sweet with like a hot, spicy barbecue sauce. It's good. I'm getting hungry right now talking about it, but that's one of the things too. Spring Hill has some really good restaurants. And then if you don't want to eat in Spring Hill, I mean, you're 15-20 minutes from, you know, Cool Springs Galleria, and there's just a ton of stuff up there too, right? And then 40 minutes to Nashville. I mean, Broadway, you can go up there. There's all kinds of restaurants all over Nashville too that are phenomenal. And I'm not going to get into that on this video, but yeah, so that's another thing that's awesome about Spring Hill is the food. All right, so I'm not really doing a pros and cons on this video. It's not really a pros and cons, but I will say this is a con. It is now in Spring Hill at certain times, and that's commute. So I talked about it earlier in the video. 31 it can be a nightmare at times because there's so many people there and there's so much traffic. And with it just being a 2-lane road right there through the main part of downtown Spring Hill, where all the food and all the restaurants and the stores and everything are at, it's just bumper to bumper at times, and it really sucks. I hate going that way. I used to take the freeway because I go to Franklin a lot. I live down towards Columbia, and I would take the freeway a lot, and now the freeway has gotten stupid too. Like, it's gotten rare. It's backed up. They're doing construction right now. And they're actually adding a on and off ramp, and I can't remember which road it is in Spring Hill. It might be Duplex, but they're adding it, and I think when that opens up, it will actually help some of that out, some of that congestion. But I like to use Carter's Creek, and I'll go Carter's Creek, and Carter's Creek is starting to get where it's not as bad, but it's starting to get where a lot of people are finding out about it. They're starting to figure that way out into Franklin, and so it's starting to get a little more congested. So that's one of the downsides to Spring Hill. I'll say right now, just the commute, because man, if there's an accident, it shuts everything down. Everything turns into an absolute gridlock and nightmare. But if you're moving from like LA or, you know, New York or Atlanta or, you know, somewhere like that, you're used to it. So for you, it's not going to be that big of a deal. That's nothing, you know, nothing new. It's actually probably going to be quicker. But for somebody like, you know, me that's lived here 16 years and came from Detroit where we didn't really have traffic like that, it's kind of annoying at times. But to me, that's one of the things that I don't like about Spring Hill, is just that the roads are not caught up to the amount of people that have moved here. This is where I do my little call to action. So if you like this video, just hit the like button. So I'm a realtor, James Dunkin, Dunkin Property Group with eXp Realty. If you you know, if you're looking to move here and you have any questions, you know, call me, text me. I'll put my contact information on here. That's my cell phone number. You can call me, text me anytime. I absolutely love helping people. I help people move here every single month from out of state. And so relocating people is kind of my specialty, and that's what I really absolutely love to do. That's why I make these videos, so you get to know who I am. And so I'd absolutely love it. Give me a call and let's get you guys moved here to town. Next thing I'm gonna talk about Spring Hill. And this kind of, and one thing about this is clearly, it's going to go for not just Spring Hill, but it's going to be any of the area here in Middle Tennessee, and that's going to be weather, right? So the weather here is interesting. It changes pretty quickly. It's unpredictable at times. We do have tornadoes. You know, thank God we've been lucky that those tornadoes that we have had, and since I've been here, have danced around where I live personally. But there are areas in Nashville that have been hit pretty hard from the tornado. So, you know, keep that in mind. If you're afraid of tornadoes, if you're afraid of weather, you know, another thing too that's weird. So I'm gonna kind of go down a rabbit hole here for a minute, but so the majority of the homes in Nashville, in this area, in Spring Hill, you know, all this area around Nashville, don't have basements, because the soil here there's so many rocks that it's hard for them to blast and dig. It's so expensive for them to put basements in that most of the homes don't have basements. And so I moved here from Michigan, where every home almost had a basement. And I moved here and they've got tornadoes, and I'm like, we don't have basements? This is crazy to me. And so I started asking, like, why don't we? And that's what it is. I figured it out. It's for builders, like, in order for them to like chip out and blow up these rocks and move the rocks out to build, you know, to dig and put a basement in, it's just not cost effective for them. So a lot of these homes aren't going to have basements either. So keep that in mind when you're moving here. You can get, there's companies here that will, they'll build shelters for you, you know, in the backyard, or one of them, I've seen a couple of people where they actually have them put a shelter in their garage. So like they cut the concrete, they dig a hole, they put a shelter in there with a hatch, and you can actually go out there, open the hatch, and go down in there in your garage. So, I mean, there are options. I don't know what the prices look like on that. I haven't had that priced out recently. So last time I saw it, it was a while ago, and I know that's probably changed by now. So that's one of the things, is weather here. Weather can be a little testy, but like right now today, it's in the 60s. Listen to the birds chirping. Of course they stop. But it's beautiful. The weather for the most part is beautiful here, and I absolutely love it. Don't get the crazy snow like in the north where I'm from. And in the summertime, it does get hot, and it can get swampy, but not as swampy as like Louisiana's or, you know, Florida or places like that. So the weather here I don't think it's too bad, honestly, in my opinion. So, but that's my opinion. So yeah, keep the weather in mind. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Like I said, I'm a realtor. My name's James Dunkin, Dunkin Property Group, eXp Realty. You can look me up. I'm on Facebook, Instagram. I've got my YouTube channel, Moving Nashville. And so, you know, I just absolutely love helping people, and I'd love for you to give me a call and get to work with you and help you, your family, you know, whatever your situation is, move here to Nashville. And that's what I do. And I absolutely love doing it. And I'm gonna put my phone number up here on the screen again, and hopefully I can get a call from you, and I hope you have a great day.